Milani, aka Total Makeup Junkie 101. So today I'm going to be doing a really requested video. This is my drugstore makeup starter kit. Now I know generally when you think of a starter kit, you think of somebody who is younger, perhaps a teenager, just going into middle school or high school, or whenever you are allowed to wear makeup. But I am taking this starter kit more so as anybody who is just getting into makeup. I didn't personally get into makeup until very late into my high school years, almost into college. And I don't think there is anything wrong with somebody getting into makeup even in their late 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, whenever you want to get into makeup, whenever that passion or that drive is there. I feel like I have put together a very well-rounded starter kit for any age. And also keep in mind, these are just suggestions. Of course, you don't have to purchase everything I talk about. If you don't want to purchase foundation or you're not interested in applying eyeshadow or eyeliner, please feel free to exclude the portions that you are not interested in. But hopefully this video just gives you guys some suggestions. If you basically wanted to know what was the best of the best, very beginner-friendly, user-friendly products at the drugstore, these are the products you should definitely try. Now, the very first thing I want to recommend, which is something that I feel like a lot of beginners especially do not think of using, an eyeshadow primer. I think an eyeshadow primer is essential whether you have oily eyelids or dry eyelids. An eyeshadow primer will help the shadows you use on top of it to look more vibrant, to last all day. It won't crease. My personal favorite from the drugstore is the Milani eyeshadow primer. It just comes in a tube like this. Very, very user-friendly, easy to use. You can just squeeze out exactly however much you want to apply because it does have just a nice little tip on it. I know that e.l.f. also has an eyeshadow primer that is $1. I personally haven't tried it, but I've heard good things about that one as well. Next products I want to recommend are some cream eyeshadows. Now I know cream eyeshadows can sometimes come across as being a little intimidating because sometimes they can be a little bit hard to work with, hard to blend, they crease easily, but these Maybelline Color Tattoos are the best cream shadows at the drugstore. These come in tons and tons of different colors, different finishes. You can get some with shimmer, you can get some without shimmer. They have really good colors to use as bases for powder shadows. And a lot of these are just great shadows to do just a one swipe all over your eyelid and just go. You don't have to apply a powder shadow to make these last all day. Two of my personal favorites. This first one is called Matte Brown. Now I believe this one was a limited edition color, so I'm not sure if you can get this one anymore, but this is the one I use all the time as a base for any eyeshadow look. It's the perfect brownish shade for my skin. The other shade I would recommend is called Bad to the Bronze. Now this is a shade that gets talked about quite a bit here on YouTube, and for very good reason. This one is a permanent shade. You can definitely still find this at your drugstore, and it's amazing. It's a nice shimmery coppery brown color. As far as powder eyeshadows go, I personally feel like everybody needs a really good matte neutral palette in their collection. This is the Sonia Kashuk Eye On Neutral palette. You can pick this up at Target and it is $20. Now I know $20 is a little bit more pricey, especially when you consider, you know, drugstore prices, but I will tell you guys right now that this palette is 100% worth the price. It has 12 different shades in it, and it's got a really, really nice range of colors. You've got plenty of highlight colors, plenty of darker colors to smoke out looks, nice mid-tone neutral transition colors, and the matte texture of these shadows is so blendable. They're not super powdery, and they're really, really pigmented. I would say this is a palette that every single person needs, because even if you do like shimmery eyeshadow looks, it's always nice to balance out a shimmery eyeshadow that you may put on the lid or something and use a neutral matte crease color to kind of balance things out. Speaking of fun colored, perhaps shimmery eyeshadows, I think you cannot go wrong with the Wet n Wild ColorIcon eyeshadow formula. Now, Wet n Wild does have these 8-pan palettes. They have 3 different varieties. The ones I'm showing you here, this one is called Comfort Zone, which is a nice kind of neutral one. Here, let me open the case for you. Pretty neutral for the most part, but it does pull in some kind of green or olive tone shadows on this side. And I also really think the Petal Pusher palette is very, very beginner friendly, because I think purple is the best way for you to incorporate some color in your eyeshadow if that's something you're going for. Purple is a very wearable eyeshadow color for all skin tones and all eye colors. As far as eyeliner goes, my preferred formula in terms of eyeliner is liquid liner. Now, I know liquid liner isn't necessarily beginner or user friendly, but I think if you have some practice and you just practice having a steady hand and applying it right, liquid liner can really take your look very far. The 2 formulas I would recommend looking into at the drugstore. The first one is my go-to standby. This is the L'Oreal Carbon Black Linear Intense Felt Tip Liquid Liner. This one is an amazing liquid liner because it is incredibly, incredibly black, as the name would suggest, carbon black. It does have a nice long felt tip, which is nice and flexible, so it's very easy for a beginner to really get in that inner corner. You can also use it to do a wing if that's what you want. This is a very user-friendly liner. Now, the other liquid liner that I prefer in terms of formulation is the Milani Ultra Fine liquid eyeliner. That's just what it's called. It comes in a very similar packaging to the L'Oreal one. However, the applicator is a little different. It's a little shorter. It's still felt tip, but the tip is a little bit stiffer, so it's a little bit harder to get a nice wing with this one, I find, but the formula on this I like better because this one is waterproof. This stuff does not budge. You need a good oil-based makeup remover to take this sucker off. Now, I know since liquid liner isn't everybody's cup of tea, especially if you are a beginner, pencil liner is another great way to go. Now, pencil liner won't give you the nice precision that a liquid liner will, but this pencil, which is the Maybelline MasterDrama by Eye Studio pencil in Midnight Master, I said that really weird. Midnight Master. It is a retractable pencil style liner, so you don't have to sharpen it, so it's very easy to travel with. I will say this liner is a very, very reminiscent to the Stila Twist Up liner in the shade Stingray. I believe it's called the Stay All Day Pencil Liner or something like that. You guys know the one I'm talking about. It's called Stingray, it's black, it's in pretty much the exact same tube as this, and it works exactly the same. In terms of mascara, I feel like there are 2 different kinds of people when it comes to drugstore mascara. You either like Maybelline mascaras, like the Falsies and the Colossal and those kinds of mascaras, or you like CoverGirl mascaras. And I am personally a CoverGirl gal. I think all CoverGirl mascaras, particularly in their Lash Blast line, are phenomenal. This is the newest CoverGirl Lash Blast formula. This one is called the Supersizer, and it comes in this really pretty turquoise packaging, and this one has a very unique wand to it. It is a rubber brush, as all of the Lash Blast wands are, but it's kind of an interesting shape. It's fat on one side, skinnier on the other side, and it doesn't have a lot of bristles around it, but it really does work to build up some nice volume on your lashes. The other formula, which I do think I prefer over the Supersizer, it's like my go-to. It's the one that I always have a backup of. As you can see, I haven't even opened this one, but I have gone through about 4 or 5 tubes of this in the past. This is the CoverGirl Clump Crusher Mascara. It's the one in the green tube, and it is amazing, amazing stuff. It does not clump. It's got a really nice wand to it. It curves just a little bit, has a lot of bristles on it. It's an amazing, amazing mascara. In terms of brows, I'll be perfectly honest, I haven't found any brow pencil at the drugstore that I really, really love. I have heard really good things about the new NYX Micro Brow Pencil, and a lot of people are saying it's very, very similar to the Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Wiz. I personally haven't tried that one though, so I can't recommend it from my own experience, but I do really love the NYX Control Freak Clear Brow Gel. I use clear brow gel all the time on my brows because my brow hair is very thick and my brows can definitely get kind of unruly if I don't kind of slick them down a little bit. This one is just your typical clear brow gel. I will say the wand on this is quite big and it does take a little bit of getting used to so you don't get clear brow gel everywhere. If you want a smaller wand in a clear brow gel, I really do love the Milani clear brow gel. Milani also has one that is equally good. I use them interchangeably. Right now I'm just using my NYX one, so this is what I had on hand. In terms of liquid foundation, now I know liquid foundation is something that I don't feel like everybody needs, especially if you are younger. If you are in junior high or maybe early high school, you probably don't need liquid foundation to put it all over the place. But if you did want to try it out, my personal favorite formula is the L'Oreal Pro Matte Infallible Liquid Foundation. I don't have the tube here to show you guys because I don't know where it is. I don't know how I misplaced it. It is somewhere in my collection. I just cannot seem to find it. But I will go ahead and pop up a picture right here so you guys know what I'm talking about. I did do a full in-depth review video on my application demo as well as wearing this product throughout the day so you can see how it holds up on my oily skin. I will be sure to put that video link in the description box below, so if you guys want to see more in-depth thoughts on that product, go ahead and check out that video. In terms of setting powder or face powder, if you're not a liquid foundation wearer, you may just want to pop on some powder all over your face. It'll soak up the oil throughout the day and even out your complexion just a little bit. My favorite one is the Revlon Nearly Naked powder. Now, this did get some love from me when it first came out, but recently I haven't really talked about it that much, and it's not because I stopped loving it, it's just because I have so many powders and I'm trying to finish up some powders in my collection, and this one often just gets overlooked. I'm hoping this isn't discontinued because I know Revlon they release a lot of new products and they discontinue some of their good ones. So I'm really hoping this isn't discontinued. If you can still get your hands on it, get it. This is a really good medium coverage powder. It soaks up my oil. It is incredibly silky feeling to the touch. If you just put your finger in it, you can tell just how smooth and silky it is. In terms of concealer, I have two formulas that I absolutely love, but they are two very different formulas to me, so I love them in different ways. First off, the Maybelline Fit Me Concealer. This is an awesome concealer for under the eyes. It's a great, very thin, kind of liquidy feeling concealer. It doesn't give a ton of coverage, but it's great if you get a shade that's just lighter than your skin and you pop it under your eyes or any of the high points on your face. You can really get a nice highlighted look out of this concealer. As far as a kind of do-it-all concealer, I will pop this under my eyes as a highlighter. I'll even use this a couple shades darker as a contour, and I also like it as an actual concealer to cover up blemishes. It's kind of just an all-in-one product. This is the LA Girl Pro Conceal HD High Definition Concealer. This comes in a million different shades. I guarantee you will find a shade that matches you. It does have a brush top, but it is still a squeeze tube. So I really like that design. It works really nicely. I do wish this concealer was easier to find, especially in stores, so you could kind of see it in person and kind of color match yourself in person. But you can pick this up off the LA Girl website and a couple of other websites. I know you can get this off of Lady Moss and some other different places. In terms of drugstore blushes, I don't think any company at the drugstore even competes with the quality and the amazingness that is this blush formula. These are the Milani Baked Blushes. If you followed my channel for any length of time, you guys will have known that I love these, and I have loved these for so long. This shade in Luminoso is gorgeous. It's one that everybody talks about. It's a light peachy golden color. I will say most of these baked blushes do have a little bit of sparkle or shimmer in them. Luminoso definitely has a luminous glow to it, but Milani does have two shades that are pretty much matte. They're kind of like a satin matte. This one here is called Bella Rosa, and holy moly, this one is gorgeous. It's a beautiful kind of rosy pink. I would say if you are in the market for picking up a new blush, these Milani blushes compete with every single high-end blush formula I have ever tried. In terms of lipstick, lip product, my favorite part of my face to put color on, the best drugstore lipstick formula, in my opinion, especially if you're looking for a matte lipstick. It's got an amazing color range. The Maybelline Creamy Matte Lipsticks. These I have done two separate review videos on, one on the original formula, one on when they released extended shades. I will be sure to put both of those review video links in the description box for you. You guys know how obsessed I am with these. The two shades I would recommend, the first one is called Nude Nuance. And this is a beautiful, beautiful brown nude color. It's an amazing matte formula. It's not drying. It glides on your lips so effortlessly, but it still gives your lips that nice matte look. It's just amazing. I also really, really love Burgundy Blush. This is going to be gorgeous for the fall time coming up. If you guys want a new fall lipstick, you guys need this one. If you guys are thinking that maybe a super pigmented, bold lipstick is a little too much for you, you want something a little bit more moisturizing but still gives a pop of color, I highly, highly recommend the Revlon lip butters. These are probably my favorite formula in terms of drugstore lip products in general. This shade I have here is called Berry Smoothie. It's a really nice kind of berry pinkish color, but you guys know my go-to, the one I have in my purse, and of course it's not here with me to show you, Pink Truffle. It is the best neutral brownish rosy color, goes with all skin tones. In terms of lip gloss, I think this is personally my favorite lip gloss formula at the drugstore, the NYX Butter Glosses. The shade I have here is Tiramisu. It's a nice neutral, nudie, brownish rose color. It's just gorgeous. And I have to say, the thing I love about these is the scent. It's got an amazing, like, cakey, buttery, cupcake scent to it. I love it, but the formula of these is really nice. It does give a nice pop of color without being too much. They don't bleed on me. They don't last super long because they're not sticky, but they're really nice to reapply and they do feel hydrating on the lips. I did want to mention a formula of lip liner. I know that lip liner isn't something that I feel like every beginner necessarily needs, but I do think if you did want some good lip liners at the drugstore, the Milani Color Statement lip liners are awesome. I absolutely love them. The shade Spice is like my go-to neutral lip liner. It's that perfect kind of brownish nude color, but I also really, really love the shade Cocoa, which is kind of a darker brown cocoa color. These are amazing because they're soft and silky, but they're not too soft, so you can still get a nice precise edge. They last a long time. They help your lipstick to not bleed. These are a great, great formula. Another additional product I want to mention, which I don't think is necessary for every beginner, but if you were in the market for a setting mist or a facial setting mist, which is really popular on YouTube right now, a lot of different companies have a setting mist available. I think the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Spray and Set Makeup Extender Setting Spray is the best out there. This is amazing. This is very, very comparable to the Urban Decay De-Slick Setting Spray or the Skindinavia Makeup Setting Spray. You guys know what I'm talking about. This is good stuff. So that wraps up my drugstore makeup starter kit. I know that was a lot of product, a lot of information. Everything I mentioned will be listed in the description box below for you guys. So if you missed anything or you want to know any shade names or anything, everything will be written down there. As I said in the beginning of the video, I do not feel like every single beginner needs to have all of this stuff. I think you guys can just pick and choose the things that you are interested in. Like if you just want a foundation and a blush and maybe a lip product. Hopefully this video gave you guys some suggestions on what to pick up. So that's everything. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I hope it was helpful to you, and I will catch you guys in my next video on Thursday. I'll see you then. Bye! All that is filled with all different types of lip products, from lipstick, lip glosses, liquid lipstick that I wear when I know I need a good workhorse lipstick. I need something easy to reapply.